What's going on, everybody? David here. Today we're talking travel rewards credit cards. Today's credit card is the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. But first off, on this channel we talk about travel, exploration, and photography. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon so you can get future updates on my videos. Okay, so we're going to do a 2019 edition of the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I've done reviews of this card in the past, but I kind of want to do an update just to kind of give you some of the new benefits of the card. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So looking at the card, the first thing that I always look at is the annual fee. The annual fee on this card is $95. So you do have to pay that. They have changed it now. So the $95 is up front. So you don't have that. You don't have the, usually they waive it for, or in the past they've waived it for the first year. But now it's $95 right out of the gate. Okay. So the next thing I look at, sign-up bonus. The sign-up bonus on this card is 60,000 bonus points. That's after spending $4,000 within the first 3 months. Okay. This card, and I didn't mention this at the beginning, but this is a good beginner card. Okay. So if you are someone who doesn't have any travel credit cards, this is probably the card that you want to look at first because it gives you some of the benefits that you would want as a beginner, and it gives you flexibility. A lot of people, when they first start out and they want to get a travel credit card, they think, okay, I'm going to get an airline branded card or a hotel branded card. But you should really look at getting a card that's more universal. And the reason that this card is a strong card is because you can get points on this card. And with those points, you can transfer it to hotels. You can transfer it to different airlines. Okay, so whatever partners deal with Chase, you can transfer your points that way. So it's actually 2-in-1 because if I just get an airline branded card, guess what? Those points are just going to be with that airline. So an example, if I get a United card, United Explorer Plus card, the points that I accumulate. So if I get 60,000 bonus points, like a sign-up bonus, those 60,000 points are going to be in my United account. I can't transfer them over to a hotel brand, okay? But if I have the Chase Sapphire Preferred and I have 60,000 points, guess what? That 60,000 points, that same 60,000, I can transfer all the 60,000 over to United, or I can transfer 40,000 over to United and 20,000 over to a hotel chain. So that's where your value really comes when it comes to this card. You have more flexibility because now I can use it for both travel on an airplane or staying at a hotel. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's move on down the list and see some of the other benefits here. Another thing I like to look at, and I always look at, is the earn possibility. Okay, it's very important to know, is this a card that I can keep for a long term? Or is this a card that I'm only going to be able to get a sign-up bonus and I might not be able to keep it long-term because every year I'm not going to be able to earn enough for this card to make sense, right? Because if I'm paying $95 every year, I want to make sure I get at least $95 of value every year. And if I don't get that $95 of value every year, then it doesn't make sense to keep the card. All right, so the earn possibility on this card, you're going to get 2 times points, and that's on travel and dining. Okay, so that's pretty good. It's not excellent, okay? Usually I want it at least 3 points for every dollar spent, but when you're just starting out, 2 points for every dollar spent is okay. And and what that means is anything that I'm booking that's travel related, I'm going to get 2 points for every dollar spent. Every restaurant that I go to, including fast food restaurants, I'm going to get 2 points for every dollar spent. So you can imagine over a year, if you're using this card as your primary card, over a year, you're going to probably be able to rack up some points with the card. Okay. Now, on all other purchases, you're going to get 1 point for every dollar spent. So anything that's not related to these two. So if you go to a grocery store, you're only going to get 1 point for every dollar spent. So this card doesn't make sense to use at a grocery store. It doesn't make sense to use for other things that you're only going to get 1 point for every dollar spent. Okay, because you can get other cards that are going to give you better value than that. Okay, so that's where it comes in. Where if you're new to the game and you're a beginner, you need to know, okay, I can use this card for certain things, and then I can use this card for certain things, and I can use this card for certain things. Then if you have them all in the same ecosystem, when I say ecosystem, I mean, let's say they're all Chase cards and they're all in the Ultimate Rewards program. Well, now I have it made because now I can use this card, the Chase Sapphire Preferred card for certain things, and then I can use Chase Freedom card for other things. And so you can go like that. That way you can really maximize and really get the most value out of the points that you get. Okay, so let's go ahead and move down a little bit here. 25% more in travel redemptions. Okay, so with the Ultimate Rewards program, you have a travel portal. Okay, so there are two ways to book your travel. Okay, you have a travel portal where I just go on the travel portal. It's like Expedia or whatever. You just get in there and you type in your information. And you say, I want to go from Los Angeles to New York. So then it will show me all these different flights and it will show me how many points it's going to take me to fly on that airline. It's very easy and it just pretty much outlines exactly what I want. So I don't have to do any research on my own. All I need to do is type in where I want to go and it'll show me how many points. Now, you don't always get the best value, but they will give you 25% back. So you do save a little bit on that end, but you're not always going to get the best value. The best value though, the best bang for your buck, especially if you want to fly business class or first class, is to transfer to the transfer partners. So let's say I want to fly somewhere and I just say, hey, you know what, I'll fly on United. I'm good with that. I can transfer my points over to United, then book my flight there. And usually I can find some really, really good deals on business class and first class where the points will go a lot further if I'm transferring it directly over to the partners. Okay. Some of the other benefits here, let's just move down a little bit here. And they're just showing you here, when you transfer, you want to make sure you get a one-to-one transfer. And what I mean by that is if I'm transferring to United, I want to make sure 1 point with the Ultimate Reward program transfers over, that full point transfers over to United. There will be certain situations, and you have to look at it. There will be certain situations where you might transfer 1 point over to a transfer partner and they only take half that point, right? So if I transfer, for instance, 50,000 points over to a transfer partner, they're only going to give me 25,000 points. So you want to make sure you know it's one-to-one, okay? And that's what they're saying here. A lot of partners are one-to-one, which is good. Okay, one good thing among many good things that are with this card. And not any, but a lot of different travel cards, they will give you insurance. Okay, so you're able to, you're going to have problems if you travel a lot. You're going to run into some situations, even if you don't travel a lot. It just might be a bad day, and they lose your bags, or you have different issues that you have to deal with, trip cancellation, all that good stuff. So you do have some protections if you're using your credit card to book. So that's why it really makes sense to use a credit card, a travel credit card, over booking with your debit card or what have you. Okay. So auto rental collision damage waiver. So basically they're going to give you primary insurance. So if you go and you want to rent a car and you go down there, and they always ask you when you go to a rental car place, they always ask you, do you want to get our insurance? And my answer is always no, because I have my own personal insurance. But if I'm booking with this credit card, guess what? They have primary insurance. Okay, so I don't have to worry about using my personal insurance. I don't have to worry about getting their insurance. So that's what that means. All right, so just moving down, there's a lot of different things. You also have some protections when it comes to making purchases. So if I make a purchase, I get 120 days, and that's against damage or theft. So that's pretty good. That's a $500 claim. Up to a $500 claim, and that's up to $50,000 for that's in that account. So for that card, so that's pretty good. You extend your warranty protection. Okay, so let's say you get something, and usually, like the manufacturer warranty will say it's good for a year. Well, you can extend that now. You can extend that out to 2 years. So they'll give you an additional year. So if you have it for 1 year, you can extend it to 2 years. So that's nice. I have not used that yet, so. You have to read the fine print on that, or call them if you have a claim or something like that. No foreign transaction fee. This is really important. A lot of people, when they travel, they think, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to bring all cash, and I'm going to go to an exchange and go ahead and do my exchange, or I'm going to bring some cash. I'm going to use my ATM debit card. But the only thing is you're paying a lot of fees. Okay. So what I do generally when I travel, I will bring some cash. I will do an exchange, but I will try to really keep that cash if I can. So if I go to a restaurant that takes credit cards, or if I go anywhere that takes credit cards, I'm trying to use my credit cards because there's no transaction fees. There's no foreign transaction fees. So I'm not paying anything in addition when I use those. Just make sure you pay it off at the end of the month, right? So you never carry a balance, and you'll be paying interest on it. So you don't want to do that, but use your credit card. If possible, use your credit card. That's what I do. Okay. Now, I will say, and I want you guys all to hear what I'm saying here, I am not a financial expert. This is just what works for me. Okay. Obviously, some people like using credit cards. Some people aren't comfortable using credit cards. I don't want to entice you into using a credit card if you're not comfortable using a credit card. But I will tell you, in my experience, the way that I use the credit cards, I pay it off every 2 weeks. I never carry a balance. I use it just like my debit card. And so that's kind of the system that I have in place. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on down. And it looks like we're down to the bottom here. So overall with this card, the takeaways from this card, you get the 2 points for every dollar spent on travel and restaurants. Okay, and that's pretty standard. That's good. If you're just starting out, that's a pretty good earn possibility. Okay, you're gonna get the sign-up bonus. You're gonna get 60,000 points on the sign-up bonus. So that's really good. 60,000 points, just to let you know, if you're flying from Los Angeles to New York, it's usually about 25,000 points round trip, and that's an economy seat. Okay, so you can see that can go pretty far. You can get at least 2 trips within the U.S. With that. If you're traveling outside the country, South America, something like that, you're probably going to spend in the neighborhood of maybe 40,000 to 45,000 points to fly to South America. So not too bad. That's an economy flight. Now, if you're doing business class, you might jump up to about 70,000 points round trip if you're going to South America. If you're flying overseas, you want to do a business class, have a business class experience or first class experience, it's going to be about 70, 75,000, even in some cases 80,000 points that you'll need to spend. So I'm just and that's a one-way ticket, okay, for business class, first class. So I'm just kind of giving you a ballpark, okay? Now, if you are flying overseas and you want to do an economy, you're probably going to be around the neighborhood of 40 to 45,000 points, just depending, okay? Doing a lot of research is going to help you. Once you have your points, doing a lot of research, finding out what other people do, getting on sites like awardhacker.com will give you kind of a blueprint of, okay, I can fly here and it should take me about this many points or I'll use this many points in order to fly there. All right, so I hope this helps. If you guys have any questions, please post in the comments below. My question to you, though, is will you be getting this card? Do you have this card? Do you like it? Pros and cons? Put it all in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.